Hey there, beautiful souls. Let's talk about something that might hurt a little. You know that feeling when you're just too nice? When you're always there for everyone? Always helping, always giving, always saying yes. Yeah, we need to talk about that. Because here's the brutal truth. Your kindness might be killing your respect. I know. It sounds harsh. But sometimes the truth needs to sting a little. Let me tell you a story about my friend Mike. Mike was the nicest guy you'd ever meet. Always volunteering to help. Always picking up extra shifts. Always lending money to friends. Always being there for everyone. Sounds great, right? Wrong. Mike learned the hard way that being too nice is actually the fastest way to lose people's respect. I watched it happen, step by step. First, people started asking for small favors. Hey Mike, can you cover my shift? Hey Mike, can I borrow $20? Hey Mike, can you help me move? And Mike, being Mike, always said yes. Always had a smile on his face. Always went above and beyond. But then something started to change. People stopped asking politely. They started expecting. Demanding. Taking for granted. The requests became commands. The appreciation disappeared. The respect vanished. I remember the day Mike finally broke down. He had just worked 6 shifts in a row, covering for people who needed him. When he asked for 1 shift covered in return, suddenly everyone was busy. Nobody could help out. That's when Mike realized. His kindness hadn't earned him respect. It had taught people to use him. Here's the thing about being too nice. It's not actually about being kind. It's often about being afraid. Afraid of conflict. Afraid of rejection. Afraid of not being liked. But here's the brutal truth. People don't respect what comes too easily. They don't value what they don't have to work for. And they definitely don't appreciate what's always available. Think about it. Would you value a free unlimited buffet as much as a rare, carefully prepared meal? Would you treasure something you got for nothing as much as something you worked hard to earn? Your kindness is the same way. When it's unlimited, it becomes worthless. When it's always available, it becomes expected. When it's given without conditions, it becomes taken for granted. I learned this lesson myself. Back when I was starting my career, I thought being the nice guy was the way to go. Always staying late. Always taking on extra work. Always saying yes to every request. You know what happened? My boss started expecting 60-hour weeks. My colleagues started dumping their work on me. My boundaries became non-existent. And my respect? It disappeared faster than free food in an office break room. But here's where it gets interesting. The moment I started saying no, people started treating me differently. The moment I set boundaries, people started respecting them. The moment I valued my own time, others started valuing it too. It's like magic, but it's not magic. It's human nature. We value what's scarce. We respect what has boundaries. We appreciate what we have to earn. So let's talk about how to fix this. How to be kind without being a doormat. First, start saying no. Not aggressively. Not apologetically. Just firmly. Sorry, I can't cover your shift today. No, I'm not able to lend money right now. That doesn't work for me. Simple. Clear. Final. Second, set boundaries. Your time has value. Your energy has limits. Your kindness has conditions. Make these clear from the start. Third, stop explaining yourself. No one needs a 10-page essay about why you can't help. No is a complete sentence. Use it. Fourth, watch how people react. The ones who get angry. They were using you. The ones who understand. They respect you. It's the perfect filter. Here's the thing about respect. It's not given. It's earned. And sometimes, earning respect means being less nice. Being more authentic. Being more honest. Being more real. Because real kindness has boundaries. Has limits. Has self-respect. And that's what we're really talking about here. Self-respect. When you respect yourself, others respect you too. When you value your time, others value it too. When you set boundaries, others honor them too. So to all the nice people out there, your kindness is beautiful. Your generosity is admirable. Your heart is gold. But remember, gold is precious because it's rare. Not because it's everywhere. Your kindness should be the same way. Make it valuable. Make it meaningful. Make it respected. Because at the end of the day, being kind shouldn't mean being weak. Being nice shouldn't mean being used. Being generous shouldn't mean being taken for granted. You can be kind and strong. Nice and respected. Generous and valued. But only if you choose to be. Only if you set those boundaries. Only if you demand that respect. The choice is yours. Choose wisely. Now let's talk about something that might make you uncomfortable. The harsh reality of being everyone's favorite doormat. You know what I mean. Being the person everyone calls when they need something, but mysteriously disappears when you need help. Let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was the ultimate yes person at work. Need someone to stay late? Call Sarah. Need someone to take on extra projects? Sarah's your girl. Need someone to fix everyone else's mistakes? Sarah's got you. She thought she was being a team player. Building relationships. Creating goodwill. Wrong. She was teaching people to use her. Here's how it works. Every time you say yes without hesitation. Every time you drop everything to help. Every time you put others' needs before yours. You're sending a message. And that message is: I'm available for exploitation. My time isn't valuable. My needs don't matter. People pick up on this fast. They might not do it consciously, but they do it. They start with small requests. Hey, can you look this over real quick? Could you just finish this tiny project? Would you mind covering for me today? Then the requests get bigger. More demanding. More frequent. Until suddenly, you're drowning in other people's responsibilities. While they're posting beach photos on Instagram. I watched this happen to Sarah. She went from being respected to being everyone's personal assistant. From being valued to being volunteered. From being appreciated to being expected. The breaking point? When she finally needed help herself. Big project due. Family emergency. Needed someone to cover. Guess what happened? Crickets. Silence. Suddenly everyone was too busy. The same people who always needed her help couldn't spare a minute for her. That's when she realized. People don't respect those they can use. They don't value those they don't fear losing. They don't appreciate those who are always available. Here's the psychology behind it. When you're always available, people assume you have nothing better to do. When you always say yes, people assume you have no boundaries. When you never ask for anything in return, people assume you don't need anything. It's like that old saying. You teach people how to treat you. And if you're teaching them that you're a doormat, don't be surprised when they wipe their feet on you. But here's the good news. You can change this. Starting today. Right now. First step, start being unavailable. Not all the time. But sometimes. Sorry, I can't today. I have other commitments. That doesn't work for my schedule. Second step, make your help conditional. I can help with that, but I'll need help with X in return. I can do that next week, but not today. I can contribute 2 hours, but that's my limit. Third step, start asking for things. Not demanding. Not begging. Just asking. Like a person who deserves help. Because you do. Watch what happens. Some people will disappear. Good. They were users anyway. Some people will get angry. Better. They're showing their true colors. Some people will adjust. Best. They're worth keeping around. Because here's the truth. Real relationships are reciprocal. Real respect is mutual. Real appreciation goes both ways. If you're always giving and never receiving, that's not a relationship. That's servitude. If you're always helping and never helped, that's not friendship. That's exploitation. If you're always available and never valued, that's not dedication. That's depreciation. You deserve better. You deserve respect. You deserve reciprocity. But here's the catch. No one's going to give it to you. You have to demand it. Through your actions. Through your boundaries. Through your self-respect. Start small if you need to. Say no to one small request. Set one small boundary. Ask for one small favor in return. See how it feels. Watch how people react. Learn from the experience. Then do it again. And again. Until it becomes natural. Until it becomes normal. Until it becomes who you are. Because that's the real secret. Respect isn't about being mean. Or cold. Or selfish. It's about being balanced. Being fair. Being real. It's about treating yourself the way you want others to treat you. It's about valuing yourself the way you want others to value you. It's about respecting yourself the way you want others to respect you. So start today. Right now. Take back your power. Set those boundaries. Demand that respect. Because if you don't, no one else will. And remember. You're not being mean. You're being honest. You're not being selfish. You're being healthy. You're not being difficult. You're being dignified. The choice is yours. The time is now. The change starts here. Let's dive into something even deeper. The toxic attraction between kind people and users. It's like a moth to a flame. Only you're the flame. And you're burning yourself out. Let me tell you about Jessica. The ultimate giver. Heart of gold. Soul of an angel. Bank account of a saint. She attracted friends like honey attracts flies. And just like flies, they were there for what they could get. Not for what they could give. Here's how it started. Jessica was always the one people called in a crisis. Need money for rent? Call Jessica. Relationship problems? Call Jessica. Need a place to crash? Call Jessica. She thought she was building a support network. Creating deep friendships. Making lasting connections. Instead, she was building a dependency network. Creating parasitic relationships. Making lasting problems. The pattern was always the same. Someone would come to her with an emergency. She'd help without hesitation. They'd be incredibly grateful. Promise to pay her back. Promise to return the favor. Promise to never forget her kindness. Then. Radio silence. Until the next emergency. Until the next need. Until the next crisis. Rinse and repeat. I watched this cycle for years. Watched her bank account drain. Watched her energy deplete. Watched her spirit dim. All while her friends lived their best lives. On her dime. On her time. On her kindness. The wake-up call. When Jessica finally needed help herself. Her car broke down. She needed a ride to work. Simple request, right? She called everyone she'd helped. Every single person. Know what happened? Sorry, I'm busy. Can't today, maybe next time. Have you tried Uber? That's when it hit her. She hadn't built friendships. She'd built a charity. And she was the only donor. Here's the brutal truth. Your unlimited kindness is like a beacon for toxic people. Your endless giving is like a magnet for takers. Your boundless generosity is like a feast for emotional vampires. They can smell it on you. The need to be needed. The desire to help. The inability to say no. And they come running. With their sob stories. Their emergencies. Their never-ending needs. But here's what they don't come with. Reciprocity. Gratitude. Respect. Because here's another truth. People who respect you don't constantly need you. People who value you don't repeatedly drain you. People who love you don't consistently use you. So what's the solution? First, start recognizing the pattern. Watch who shows up only in crisis. Notice who disappears after getting help. See who never seems to give back. Second, start setting conditions. I can help, but this is the last time. I'll support you if you show me a plan. I'll be there after you've tried other options. Third, start keeping score. Not to be petty. But to be aware. To see the patterns. To protect yourself. Fourth, start saying these magic words. What have you tried so far? Who else have you asked? How do you plan to solve this long term? Watch what happens. The users will vanish. The takers will disappear. The vampires will find new victims. And you know what? That's exactly what should happen. Because your kindness should be a gift. Not a resource to be exploited. Your generosity should be appreciated. Not expected. Your heart should be treasured. Not taken for granted. Start treating your kindness like the precious resource it is. Be selective about who receives it. Be mindful of how it's used. Be aware of whether it's returned. Because here's the thing. Real friends give and take. Real relationships flow both ways. Real connections build you up, not drain you dry. If you're always the one giving, that's not friendship. That's exploitation. If you're always the one helping, that's not connection. That's codependency. If you're always the one there, that's not loyalty. That's liability. You deserve better. You deserve reciprocity. You deserve respect. But first, you have to believe it. You have to demand it. You have to enforce it. Start today. Look at your relationships. Really look at them. Who's there in your success? Not just your crisis. Who gives back? Not just takes. Who lifts you up? Not just leans on you. Those are your real connections. The rest? They're just users in friend costumes. And it's time to see them for what they are. Time to let them go. Time to make room for real relationships. Because your kindness deserves better. Your heart deserves better. You deserve better. End.